hello, hello.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome to another episode of Healthy You Corner on Bougie Girl Cyber Health Happy Hour. I was about to say Cyber Healthy Happy Hour.
Happy and healthy.
Yes. Today we're going to be talking about our health, like we said yesterday, our healthy natural hair journey. And what it is to have healthy hair and how to take care of it. And we even have a special guest that's going to be coming and joining us and discussing it with us. How you doing
Yay.
today, Miranda?
All is well. Very blessed and thankful to be here. And I'm excited to talk about healthy hair. Elena and I have been wearing our hair natural for years. My journey has been a total of 21 years because my daughter is 21. I was pregnant with her when I started getting my hair pressed. So that's what I mean by natural hair. I don't always wear it in the natural texture. I wear it pressed. And for me, that's natural hair for me. I've cut it, I've dyed it, I've worn weaves. I still do wear weaves and protective styles. Those are some of my go-tos. Back then when I started, we weren't that wasn't considered protective style. That was just something we did, right? Wearing a weave, that was a fashion. But super excited to talk to Miss Mignon about healthy hair. You and her, you are beauticians and you are experts. So I'm in the
Yes.
learner's chair today.
Yes.
I'm
And
excited.
I've also been on my natural journey for 11 years now. I was just born when you started yours. I'm just playing.
Whatever. You know what, y'all? Here she trying me again. She trying it. You see how she do? Like, really? Really? That's how we do? Okay,
But
whatever.
I've also dyed my natural hair, and it's once we get Mignon, I'll tell y'all why I decided to go natural. We're gonna introduce. She's just getting herself together right now. We're gonna bring her up.
Yay, we're excited.
Her name is Mignon Mink. She's a hairstylist, I believe, over 20 years, but she'll let you know how long she's been doing the thing. And then we're gonna bring her up now. Hi, Mignon. How are you?
Hi, good evening.
Hey,
Good evening. Thanks for the invite.
No problem. Go ahead and tell people how long you've been doing hair.
Uh, 25 years.
I know, I know.
awesome.
I wasn't born
Awesome.
yet. I wasn't born when you started. I'm just
Okay,
Oh,
that's her
right.
story.
That's right. Exactly. That's her story.
so. Well, how long have you been natural on your natural journey?
Just since February
I'm
because
about to say yours recent.
yeah, because
Wow, okay.
it's well consistently. You start off and then you deviate into something else because you get tired.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah,
So just since February, and actually COVID helped with that because we weren't going anywhere. So what was there to do but to let
right,
your hair grow?
right.
exactly.
And then I said, well, let me do something different. So natural is different for me now.
Gotcha. Are
Everything
you?
else, yeah, this is different. So, and I'm
Why is
liking
it
it
why is it different? Is it because of COVID or explain to us why is it different for you this time?
because I have put nothing in my, by now I would have already put some type of chemical in it.
Right.
Because,
So
as
different.
stylists, we don't stick, we change so fast
Yeah.
because we can.
Yeah.
But
Right.
now it's just like, let me see how far I can really take this. So,
You
Exactly.
know what's so funny? Once I became a stylist, I didn't change my hair much.
really,
No, I started my natural journey 11 years ago because yeah, a relaxer, any kind of chemical, my hair just falls out.
wow.
I'm
Wow.
surprised I was able to get this light, but even doing this to my locks, I was losing inches at a time on my locks. Like my hair does
Wow.
not do well with any chemicals.
Mm,
Well, I will
yeah.
say in that regard, based off of, let's just say when people went natural, let's say 20 years ago,
Hmm.
um,
Hmm.
chemicals have changed vastly
Yes,
over the
Right.
years. There are a lot of vegan chemicals and chemicals that are less abrasive.
yes.
So people can have the best of both worlds.
Yeah. So what about? Because
Right.
I know they're talking about more like vegan or natural hair dyes. Now, are
hmm
these colors that can lift the hair or just deposit?
Some of them are permanent.
Okay.
Um, but as far as a lightener, mm, mm, I'm not
Mhm.
100% sure, but I want to say No. Not that I have seen.
Right.
I have seen some that are,
No.
like I said, less abrasive because there's so many now.
Yeah.
Back in the
Yeah.
day, we had Clairol for everything.
Right.
Clairol will get
Ooh,
Exactly.
you
that
what you want.
Clairol.
Yes,
Yeah.
Clairol gets you what you
That's
want, but it busts that cuticle open
that's
so
sometime in
bad.
Wow.
Clairol. That's sometime
Hmm.
in Clairol.
Yeah.
Right.
That's some,
Um, and I think people are, well, not people, but manufacturers and scientists are leading a little more on the less abrasive side because of the texture of people's hair and
yeah.
as far as health conditions as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So do you feel a lot of people are going natural because it's for the health reasons or just because a trend?
A
For
little bit of both. I
embracing.
think people, some, well, I've met different scales. I've met people because of health and some medications they're taking is thinning their hair and things like that. But I've also have met people thinking that if they go natural, they don't have to do anything to their hair when that's completely untrue.
Yes.
You
You've
still
heard.
have to maintain it. You
Yeah.
It
still
seems
have to
like
trim your
there's
hair.
more work when your hair is natural. To me, I guess it just depends on your hair texture.
It
Sure.
depends
It
on the
seems
hair texture.
because
Because
I know for me, I'm just gonna say for me, it's personal for me. It's more work for me because my hair tangles easily, like it gets matted in the middle. When I wash it, I've tried to do, you know how people say section it in fours and wash it. I've tried that. I tried to, it just depends, co-washing it and all these other things. And it's just a lot of work to me. And
but you have a lot of hair.
so
That's all her hair, Mignon. She has a lot of hair.
Okay. So,
that's,
and
yeah,
again,
then,
it's like you said, based on every individual needs. You know what I mean? Some people, you're a stylist, so you know, like, okay, this is just what I got
yeah,
to do.
Right.
Now, on a regular client tip, which is fine because that's why they come to us,
Yes.
but they don't feel like doing
we
all
love
that.
y'all.
So,
Exactly. We
so
love y'all.
they just let it do what it do, and then we fight with it.
Right.
So,
But
Right.
I do believe, as a natural, I like to educate my clients too when they come to me because
absolutely,
I don't want to get your hair healthy and then send you home and every time you see me, we starting over.
that is true. It is a lifestyle, just like anything else. If
Yes.
they're not
Yeah.
willing to put the work into it, just like when we do color, you have to keep up on those
Yes.
things if you want to maintain the integrity of your hair.
Yeah.
And YouTube is, I love it for certain things, but for hair, I
Ooh.
hate it.
Me too. You
I
too.
mean,
Hey,
especially,
you know the biggest thing that really irritated me when natural came out was co-wash.
yes. Mhm. Yes.
So you guys aren't a fan of the co-wash.
Well, for
I
me,
don't like it. I,
I am a very by the book stylist. I know in
Yeah.
any type of hair school we went to, co-wash does not cleanse your hair
mm-mm.
because you have to open that cuticle. Now, but what they should be talking about is co-conditioner. That's the thing. Seal that conditioner in with the cold water.
Yes.
Well, at least as cool as they can take it. So
Right.
it's like we get one end of the spectrum, but we don't get the other end.
Right.
So
Okay.
yeah, for me. Now, I do think co-washes are good for artificial hair
Right.
Yeah.
because when it's hot, it tangles, especially those of us that are doing sew-ins and getting Brazilian hair. That
Yeah.
I just think it's for certain avenues, not,
Okay.
you know what I
Not for
mean?
our natural hair, like not for
Exactly.
our hair that's coming out of our scalp. So, is because I've done this before too. When you and I've heard about it before. When you rinse your conditioner out, you rinse it out with cold water.
Yes.
Hmm.
What are the benefits of that?
It's a detangler, one,
Okay.
and it when your hair can only absorb so much. So when you're rinsing, if you rinse it out hot, you're just rinsing everything that you just deposited for the conditioner. The
Right.
cold
Oh
water is
wow.
going to seal the cuticle with the conditioner in it,
Oh
and that's
wow.
just it.
Okay.
Yep.
I didn't know that's the benefit, but yeah, I've heard. Oh, when you rinse out your conditioner, use cold water or
Hmm.
whatever. So,
Yeah.
um,
I shock all my clients.
Yep. And it works.
yeah. Woo!
I like it because it's you actually can feel the difference, especially
You
for a
can.
detangler.
Yeah.
So
Oh wow. Okay.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
appreciate that. Yeah, because like I said, my hair gets matted easily, so I guess that is a benefit. What is the danger, or is there a danger, like for example, for naturals, like when I wear my hair natural, like the natural curl, is
Hmm.
there a danger in leaving conditioner in your hair? Like for example, if I use the Aussie Moist, right? Like that's one of my go-to conditioners.
Well,
Is it okay to leave a little bit of that in your hair, just like as a detangler, like to leave it in, just to kind of condition your hair throughout, or should you wash every bit of it out?
now for me, I would say to rinse every bit of it out and do a leave-in because it's going to leave buildup. And
Okay.
if that encapsulates in your cuticle, you know how when we blow dry hair, it's like smoke everywhere,
Smoke
like the hair
everywhere.
doesn't smell clean.
Yeah.
That's the reason why, because we're not getting it out that cuticle.
Right.
Okay.
So get it gone. For in your case, like I think a good leave-in when you do your conditioner, like you pull it through and stuff like that, and you
Yeah.
rinse it, pull it through. Cool. I think you would see a really big difference. And
Okay.
then and leave it in, yeah, so you don't get that buildup.
Well,
Not
because
saying that you have it, but
right,
you
I
know,
know what you're saying, but because I wear my hair like
You
like
kind of close, but we can see you. Yes.
there you go.
So
We can
silly.
see all the teeth and everything now, so we can see you full face. No, but so because I was wondering, like for example, because I wear pulled back in a ponytail, like you know how you let it air dry.
sure.
So it's best to go ahead and rinse out all of that conditioner
Yeah, and
and
then do a
then
leave
use
in.
a. What is a good leave-in for? Y'all, I'm gonna take up all the questions. If anyone,
No,
if you
you're
are
fine.
watching, if
No,
anyone watching has some questions, please post your questions so Miranda won't ask all the questions because I'll be talking about me and my hair all day. But anyway,
But it could be questions people might want to ask, but scared to ask. So ask your
right,
questions.
right. Now for
yeah,
me, I like It's a 10. It's a 10 has
Love it's a 10.
so many um
Different.
flavors.
Yes.
But for
oh
natural hair,
nice,
I really like the keratin one for natural hair.
Mhm.
oh nice. Okay,
Hmm.
so
You know,
that's not
another,
just professional strength. It's you can buy that in
yeah,
Target or you have to go to Sally's or somewhere.
it's a 10 is
Target will have it, but at an astronomical price.
yeah.
Okay,
I would
Um,
say go to a lot of salons have them.
yeah,
I will get it from a salon as opposed to going online and purchase it and stuff like that. Get it from a
yeah,
salon.
or Amazon.
don't purchase it from Amazon.
No, you can Amazon because
Okay,
sometimes Amazon has the larger bottles for that same price as a smaller one.
okay.
But make sure it's from the manufacturer too. Just
Oh
make sure
yeah,
it's not
yeah,
from
because
because some people make dupes online.
they
And
That's
do.
what I was going to ask you. Yeah.
yeah, some people make
So
dupes online. And another one that I really, really like is Mazzani the milk. Have you tried that one?
um,
You never tried that one? I love
no,
it
I'm
so much.
allergic to a lot of their products, so I don't use any
Oh,
Mazzani line.
gotcha.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I use the Mazzani milk one on my daughter, and
But I
it's
have heard about it. People have used it. I've heard nothing but good things.
right.
So
Right.
And the Redken had a really good one. I don't know if they still had it, but I like their leave-in too.
hmm
Do you remember the one I'm talking about? The I can't remember the name of it, but it was like 25 and one or something like that.
yes,
A
yes, I
Redken,
do remember that. And it was out very brief.
but it was a good one. I
It was
loved it.
Yeah.
that was good. Like if you couldn't get to 10, that was the next best one.
Yes, but it's a 10 definitely. It's a 10. Even the original one, but definitely the keratin one is really really good.
Okay.
Um,
Hmm.
they have so many different ones. I just love it's a 10.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm
I,
gonna try that because just it's just hard when you don't have. I was telling Elena yesterday I don't have a beautician in my area where I just moved to,
okay.
so it's it's hard to kind of trust people with your
Sure.
hair. As a
Sure.
black woman, I don't just go to some random place. For me,
Not if you
that's
want
my
to keep your
personal
hair.
opinion. Thank you, because I've noticed that women. I don't know if this is a fair statement, you guys. Women beauticians are quick, not every beautician quick to chop off your hair or to cut it or trim it or whatever. And I know if my hair needs trimming, fine, please do. But then don't surprise me and you've trimmed off 4 inches of my hair. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
Well,
saying? So
stay away from
that's
them choppers.
right,
always a big issue because beauticians don't know the difference, but some between a trim
Some,
and a cut.
right.
right,
Two totally different services.
right.
I think Evelyn said, "Hello, just joined. I didn't hear what you can buy for your hair to keep it healthy."
Hi, Eva. Hi, Lena. That's my cousin from Tennessee. Hi, Lena. Thank you for joining us. So we're talking about healthy hair. So if you're wearing your hair natural, we're just talking about, they were talking about It's a 10 as a product that you can
That's
try on your natural. Is that what it's called? It's a
yes, it's
10?
a good yeah, it's a 10. It's a good leave-in product.
Hmm.
Evelina, really, the products to keep your hair healthy, you have to know your hair because we can't recommend a lot of things for everybody because we all have different hair.
Right. And let me just add this to that because anything that we're putting on our hair outside is maintaining it. Everything, the hair is doing what we put in us has to come out.
Mhm.
So our diet affects healthy hair. Things we're drinking, eating, um, If you notice that your hair is very oily, you might want to cut down on a lot of the fried foods, because what's going on is
Wow.
underneath the scalp.
Yeah.
Now, when it
Right.
grows out, then we use the products to maintain that healthiness. So you got to grow it. You got to grow it homegrown first, healthy.
Right.
Then polish it when it comes out.
Right. And
So
like you
what?
said, because we all have different types of hair, there's not really one end all be all product. We just have to know our hair. How often
Exactly.
should we go? I mean, because if people like to do they have their home kitchens. How often should you go to beauty shop and get your hair done? If you don't normally go, how often do you recommend us to go?
I would honestly say every 6 to 8 weeks, because typically that's when it's time for a
The
trim
trim.
anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And for
Okay.
the 8 weeks for those whose hair may not grow as fast as others, six for those, normal.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
some people just have a lot of hair that it grows fast. So 4 to 8 weeks, let's say that, depending on the growth rate.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Mm-hmm.
trimming is healthy. I know a lot of us are scared of trims because you think, they're gonna cut off a lot. But if you put it in your routine to go get a trim,
Mm-hmm.
then we won't have to trim off as much. It's literally will be a light dusting every few weeks, and then
Exactly.
you're gonna really see the growth in your hair.
Yeah.
Right.
Because that's one of the pet peeves. I mean, we can save that for another show. But the whole cutting, it's a lot, because people have been traumatized going in for a trim and
Yeah.
coming out with half their hair gone. So,
Right.
and I agree with you, Miranda, as far as you're not going to go to anybody. It's a relationship that you build with your stylist.
Yes.
It's like going to the doctor. If they
That's
can't
it.
service you how it's supposed to be, then you go somewhere
Exactly.
else. And
Right.
if clients are, if you know how you have that feeling, if you can feel like, okay, this person may not know. If you're not 100%, go with your first mind.
Yeah.
Right. And that's true. I've been in the beautician chair and I would almost be in tears because I saw a glimpse of my hair and I did not like it.
Wow.
And I've been in tears before in the beautician chair and just didn't know how to tell this person, I don't like my hair. You didn't do a good job. What I do is I just don't go back. I might even give them a tip, and just move on. Like I'm never coming back here again. But I've been in situations where I've sat in the chair for hours. I don't know if you all remember when crochet first came out. This was like maybe 6 years ago when crochets first came out. When people
Mhm.
well,
I got back popular because crochet been out for a long
well,
time.
that's how I was
But
going to say. It probably been
when they
out for
came back, yeah, when they came
right.
back,
So about 6 years ago, I went sat in this woman's chair. I was there for hours. Okay, you guys, she did a horrible job. She didn't, and I had to go home and redo it myself. Go to a YouTube video
mm,
and take that hair and re-roll it, dip it, spend more money to go buy more rollers and all this other stuff. And it was just a horrible experience. And
Yeah.
it's unfortunate. I know other people have had horror stories. So you all, if you're just now joining us, we're talking about healthy hair, healthy natural hair products that we can use on our hair. We have two experts here, Elena and Mignon. I'm not the expert. I'm asking questions because I don't know. And so if you all have questions about any products, anything that you can do to maintain or especially now that we're in a pandemic, we're at home, we're not really in the beauty shop as much. How can we maintain our hair? So, ladies, what do you all recommend? Because we are at home, what are some tips on help, maintaining our hair, the
Let
healthiness
me
of
say this with this pandemic going on, because when everyone was home and we had nowhere to go and we were bored, the first thing we did was fool with our hair.
it? Yeah,
And it's like,
and
and
watch YouTube videos to fool with
watch
our.
YouTube,
exactly,
and it's like,
exactly.
oh my goodness, what did I do? You know what I mean? So don't be that
Right.
bored. Step number one.
No, don't be that bored.
Otherwise, typically your hair automatically is going to do what it's supposed to do anyway. It's going to
Yes.
grow, it's going to lubricate itself how it's supposed
Right,
to. I think
right.
a lot what we do is we overthink the situation. Or, oh my goodness, they have commercials for almost everything that we need, but just because it's a commercial does not necessarily mean you need it. Um,
Exactly.
Things that worked back in the day, when our grandmothers and stuff did hair, and oh my goodness, luscious hair we had, those things still work.
Yes. And
Um,
I don't know about you, Mignon, but I honestly think you don't need that many products to maintain your natural hair. You
Nope.
need clarifying shampoo, a moisturizing shampoo, a moisturizing conditioner, a leave-in, and some kind of styling product. You don't need that much stuff to maintain your natural
I
hair.
think I think a lot of people get a lot of products because they're trying different products.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And trying
Right.
to see what works. Next thing you know, you have the whole CVS under
Right.
your bathroom sink.
But what I
That's
And
can,
me.
what you can do, and what I noticed that I did, you can contact some of these companies, and they'll send you samples.
mm-hmm,
Hmm.
Look for
mm-hmm.
Okay.
samples. Send them an
Awesome.
email, or sometimes you have to pay like a little bit for shipping. But get
Right.
sample products of these ones, especially they say this is the best for natural hair. Get a sample, try it on your hair. If you don't like it, at least you didn't spend money on a big old bottle of it.
Right.
Exactly.
So
And also, people need to do research. And somebody says, okay, this is a good natural for your natural hair, but they don't have natural hair. I can't
right,
listen to you.
Right.
I can't
shut
listen
up,
to you.
Exactly.
Right.
shut up. How you know?
Yeah, just like someone says this is what works for if you were a crack addict, but they've never had crack or whatever, or this is how to overcome. I'm just saying, you sometimes you have to have gone through it to
Yeah,
actually be
Exactly.
able to share some benefit of what will be beneficial
right.
to that person. I've you all give me your opinion. What do you think about oils and grease? Because I've actually bought some of the blue. You know how they're saying, "Oh, go back and try like the gold
You
curl
get
activator or the blue grease that your grandma used to
talking about
use."
blue magic. Ooh.
I went and bought some. I'm like, let me try this again on my hair. Let me put some. Let me try to see on my
Your
end.
your your
Do you
forehead about
plan
to
on
break out.
do you
Look,
plan on
I'm gonna
trying
try
any
to.
food soon?
Look, I know, ma'am. I do not. I use olive oil for that. So I use olive
Um,
oil, and that's
I,
and so I'm just thinking. So because coconut oil doesn't work for me. I've tried coconut oil in my hair.
It don't work for
Um,
everybody.
I've tried grapeseed oil. I know avocado oil works for me. Grapeseed oil is pretty good. So certain oils work for my hair. But what do you all? What is your opinion about oils in your hair?
being as though you just said that goes to back to what works for everybody because I like coconut oil because it's
Yeah,
not heavy.
yeah,
But depending on the scalp and how dry it is, then like you said, the grapeseed oil, different things. Um, I am not a big fan of grease,
yeah.
especially with everybody wanting all this flowy hair.
Yeah,
I
and
think it
Hmm.
depends
and
on
co-washes, because that's not gonna get that out your hair.
that's not going to get
Right.
that out. Um, I think it depends on the hairstyle, honestly. For instance, I have braids. I probably will grease my scalp.
Yeah.
But if I'm wearing my hair out, I'm not going to use that same grease. So I think it depends on what the style is, if that
Right.
makes sense.
And there's
But
there's
it's not
better
gonna.
greases out there like Design Essential Herbal Complex.
That's a good one.
That's a way better grease than Blue Magic, because it looks like a grease but actually turns into an oil, and it spreads
So
a
it's
lot
not
better.
clogging your pores or anything like that.
It's,
Right. Typically, anything silicone based is pretty good. But again, depending on the scalp
Okay.
and the style for me.
Right.
You
So
know,
when you're wearing braids, it's kind of good to possibly put some oil on your scalp. But when you're wearing it down, possibly like wearing it flat iron, it'll weigh your hair down and
exactly.
different things
And
like that.
also, applying grease should not be done if you're going to bed. Like if you want to grease your scalp, grease it and go about your day.
Right. Not
Okay,
when
because if
before
you
you go
laying
to
down,
bed.
all you're doing is festering a whole mess in there.
Oh no. I mean, you've heard all of those things, right? Like before I go to bed, I put oil on my scalp and all this other stuff. And then that stuff is getting in your pillow, getting
Yep,
in your face, and then you
yep,
have breakouts
exactly.
and different things like that. Hi, Angela. Angela's one of my cousins in Tennessee as well. Thank you all of our family and friends who are joining us tonight. We're talking about healthy hair and
my
how
grandma
to
in there. Hi,
maintain.
grandma.
Hi, Grandma. Hi, everyone. All of our family is joining us. Thank you all so much for joining us. Ask questions if you have questions about how to maintain your healthy natural hair, whether you're wearing it pressed, whether you're wearing it in locks, whether you're wearing braids, a weave, protective styles, crochet, whatever. Ask questions about how to maintain and wash it and keep it healthy so we can maintain our length. And that's been an issue for me as well, maintaining length because
Okay.
my ends start getting kind of thin. What do you all say? I know trimming is one way to help main length retention. What are other ways for length retention for our hair?
Well, let me ask you this: when have you noticed it started thinning as you've gotten
Um,
older?
that was part of it, and just going through, I guess, different lifestyle changes. Uh,
Absolutely, because our
Different things.
textures change throughout our life
Yeah.
based off of weight gain, things we eat, medications.
Hmm.
Um, to I wish I could say it's a wonder pill out there that's going to thicken it up and do things.
Yeah.
Stress is a big deal with our hair.
Oh yeah.
Um, honestly, I just think it's a part of life because some people
Yeah.
have been able to grow hair, but it won't go past a certain length.
Hmm.
Right.
Why that is, I haven't dug into that.
Hmm.
You know, I do know I have some clients that have thyroid issues that makes hair growth an issue for them.
Right.
Um,
Right.
Also cause thinning as well.
yeah. So, but to recommend anything, uh, let's put that on in the parking lot for us. I'll get back to that.
That's,
Because
I mean,
I,
because there is a lot of products that say they'll thicken your hair up and stuff like that.
yeah.
And I'm not gonna say they don't work, but a lot of times people start using them if they don't see the results in a week, they
Immediate.
stop using it.
Yeah.
So even if you do your research and you talk to your hairstylist and they say it's a good idea, use the product as they tell you to use it with
Mm,
their products and
right.
use it for 90 days because you're gonna see results in 90 days as opposed to 30.
Now I can
Right.
suggest. I will say Nioxin is a good brand.
It is.
Um,
They have a is
the
it Diamex, the droplets?
and Nioxin also has a hair vitamin as well, just like the hair, skin, and
They
nails that you can
do.
buy
They do.
anywhere else. I will say this: this is not written down, but prenatal vitamins will do it.
Yes.
Yep, they will. And now I cannot guarantee that you may not wake up with a full-on beard, but they will grow you some hair.
Look, and that's why and that's why I stopped taking hair vitamins because I grow facial hair. So I'm not gonna so I stopped using certain hair vitamins because not only does it help on my head, but it helps on
Hmm.
other parts of my body as well. And I don't want a mustache and a beard because my
Is this
family,
hair
we're
on my
very.
chest? Is this hair on my
I
chest?
know, why is this long hair growing out of my chest? What's happening right now? So
Right,
I
because
don't want to. Yeah.
that's
So
not where
I
you wanted it.
exactly. So do the drops do the same thing? So if you use the topical drops, do that cause hair growth on other parts of your body as well?
I don't think so. I just think that
See what
the
the
issue.
diet.
I'm
Oh,
sorry. Go ahead, Elena.
I'll say the Diamex with Nioxin. They guarantee what it does is it opens the diameter of each strand of hair, so it makes the diameter of each strand bigger, so it makes your hair appear fuller and thicker.
Hmm.
So it
So
appears fuller,
yeah,
but
so
it's
it
not
don't
necessarily.
necessarily mean you're getting new hair, but it just
Mm.
helps your hair to look fuller and
Oh,
thicker.
Right.
okay.
And
Okay.
with the main goal is to stimulate the follicle. That's what's going to get the hair to grow.
Yeah.
And a
Right.
lot of that has to do with improper cleansing of the hair, as we spoke of.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's why, like the nioxin is like it's an effervescent, like tea tree, things like that, that can get that stimulation going.
Hmm.
So, as a lot of this stuff can be remedied by just regular at home
Maintenance care.
maintenance. Yeah,
Yeah,
Right.
I'm telling you, clarify. Me and my child Marley, we sing it all the time. Clarify, moisturize,
that's
clarify.
it.
You gotta clarify the hair when you cleanse it because
Can't
that
moisturize dirt.
yeah, you gotta strip your hair of all that
Right.
oils, all that blue magic, all whatever you put in. You gotta that hair needs to be squeaky by the time you finish your first wash. And
Right.
if it's not squeaky, clarify it again. If it's not squeaky, clarify it again. And then when you feel that hair squeak, then
When
go
it
ahead
needs
and
to make that
moisturize.
noise. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's also, I think, too, as far as natural hair, because one of the benefits, because it's natural, it's in its natural state, its natural coil, it can hold those necessary oils that we need.
Yeah.
So we got to get that out of there so it can excrete more oil.
And
You know what I mean?
Right.
you'll see your curls pop out much better once it's properly clean.
Immediately.
And it'll take the products that you're putting on there to get coils. It's gonna make them look so much better and more beautiful because you're properly cleaning your hair.
Sure.
Agree. Even when, like, for instance, when we're at work and if you shampoo someone's hair and it's like Oh, well, all you need is some oil. I mean, put some gel on it to get the curls. And I
Yeah.
said, well, why mine don't look like this? I mean, shampoo
Right.
your hair. I don't know, but
Right.
it's all about cleansing. Like your clothes look better when they're clean. Your skin looks better when it's clean. Your hair looks better when it's clean. It's all about cleansing and exfoliating, and especially because us, we'll throw something on our hair quick. Edge stuff, lay it down. That's what we do. Everything.
Right.
There is some actually hair scrubs too, like with sugars in it and stuff, and they'll scrub all
Absolutely.
that stuff out your hair. It'll have your hair shining.
Yep.
I thought I was just
I
going
got
to
who
ask you.
had
I know.
somebody. One of them products had a sugar scrub. I think it was Matrix. Didn't they have a sugar scrub?
That sounds about right. I remember.
Yeah, I was
Yes.
going to ask
No.
you about that.
Paul Mitchell.
Oh, Mitchell had one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and
Yeah.
also what was the one? It was real Ete, the Ete products. They have.
ETA. Okay.
I think I might be saying it wrong. It might be ET or something. I don't know.
No,
I
no.
say I say Ete. I just make it fancy. But they have
It's
it's an
fancy.
all natural. It has sugar in it. It has honey. It has a bunch of things, and you actually put that on your hair before you shampoo. So it's like a pre-poo. And what you're doing is you're cleansing and scrubbing all of that stuff out the hair before you even clarify the
Mm-hmm.
hair. And that
Yep.
one gets the hair really, and that's why they products got so popular and been really good with silk presses because they products um, benefits your hair by cleaning it really well. Because when you get a
Okay.
silk press, you want the hair to be clean. You want to have as less products as possible to get that hair to flow.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Right.
I
Yep.
hear, I hear people just, oh, my hair, I can't. I don't want your hair to be. Mm-mm, mm-mm. I'm not putting that much oils on your
She
hair.
said, I don't want it weighed down. And someone asked a question about it, says, what about this hair growth called Hollywood? I've never heard of it.
Oh, the Hollywood drops. Yes, it's like a
Oh,
serum.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Does
that you
that
drop.
work?
All I know is the comments that people are putting up there. I haven't tried it myself. My daughter wanted to order it so we can try it because I try not to talk about products unless I've tried it myself.
Right.
I
Right.
think that's another product that it may work, but again, we don't give it time to
Right.
work. I don't think it could hurt. It's oil. You know what I mean? But I'm
Yeah.
very skeptical about things that are sold in stores that are not for us licensed stylists. I'm
Yeah.
just going to leave that right there. You know what I mean? You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Because not to say that it doesn't work, but it kind of goes against what Elena was saying to make sure that they're not diluting it in any way, or switching it out, and it's not the same potency. But people have been buying it. I just
Right.
I just want to see the results. But the
Yeah.
results may be, but I've seen it being used if someone gets their hair twisted or locked, braided, and then they're putting it through the scalp.
Right.
And then I guess when they take it out. But I don't think the way they sell it is if you put it on tonight, tomorrow your hair is going to be to your ankles.
Right.
And I
That's not
don't,
gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Some of them times, them braids was in their hair for like 6 months to get some of them grow. You don't know.
right.
Wow.
So I'm thinking as my daughter wants to try it. I can use her as my beta and see what happens.
Oh no.
And I when my we as stylists we don't want bald headed children. So when my daughter was 8 or 9 months, she got the cradle cap and all this is bald. My baby was bald, and I was like, not my baby. So I did do research on what oils promote healthy hair growth and
Mhm.
moisture and stuff. And I did a routine of every time I washed her hair, I put the oils in her hair, and I did it. And in 90 days, in 6 months, I'm sorry, 3 months, her hair grew back and fuller. And
Okay.
everybody was like, "Oh, what you using on?" I'm like, "I just concocted these oils because I did my research." A lot
Right.
of times you can
I
do your
have heard a lot about that. What is it? The Jamaican black castor oil.
I never use that. I feel like that would have been too heavy for my daughter because she has very fine
Well,
hair.
yeah, I'm talking about for people just,
Bro,
yeah. I mean now, like us, I've heard, like, again, I'm skeptical about certain greases, but they do have, it's kind of like you got to go in and touch it and feel it.
mm-hmm.
Right.
I don't want lard on my scalp, but if I
Right.
could take a little bit of Crisco, that might work. You know what I mean? Or a happy medium.
She said Crisco.
So I'm a product junkie, so I have used the black Jamaican castor oil. So
Okay.
I've used that on my edges because my hair, again, maybe because of stress, wearing my hair in buns all the time, my edges were getting a little thin. So I did try it. I've seen some I saw some growth or some
Okay.
thickening. But again, it's about consistency. I'm
Yeah.
not going to say I used it for 6 months straight because I did not. So I believe if I would have used it a little bit longer, I probably would have saw some consistent hair growth and different things like that. But I did not stay with it because again, you start hearing all this other stuff, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna try this, I'm gonna try this. So my issue is just being consistent. I need to be consistent with what I do and my hair routine because I am so quick to go buy something new and try this and try that and try this and try that. So that's my issue. But I know you all mentioned something a few minutes ago. Elena was talking about having your braids in for 6 months. How long are we to keep our braids in, our weaves in? And like if we have individuals, I know sometimes cornrows they grow out, seem like they grow out so fast. But what
Hmm.
about individuals? Our weaves and stuff like that. How long should we keep those kind of styles in our hair?
For me, I think it depends on the growth of the person's hair. Like,
Mhm.
um, I just got these done last week. I'll probably have these in for maybe about 3 months because after that they don't look fresh. My hair needs to be shampooed at that point for me, um, which is typically about right. Weaves, uh,
About a month and a half, maybe six
I would
weeks.
say because you really can't effectively clean in those braids,
Right.
especially if the net is sewn on top.
Right.
So, and again, what people need to understand about weaves, I'm glad you brought that up, is that still has to be maintenance. You still have to go in and get that cleaned properly. Like,
Yeah.
just don't sew it and then you're sitting somewhere
For
for
months.
6 to 8 weeks with no type of, cleaning it.
Right.
Yeah.
Same thing with wigs. I and they leave it on and they don't too long and
Uh,
they're just extra putting glue, glue, glue. And when they peel it off, your whole edges and everything is
Yeah.
coming with it.
And then
uh,
So
bacteria grows. Corona might be sitting
exactly.
on it.
oh
Um,
no. Okay, Corona.
and, and I get everybody, protective style and protect, but if it's protected only
If it's
for a
healthy.
short amount of time. You know what I mean?
Right.
Before you have to do something else. Cornrows, like you said, they do grow out fast. Sometimes it depends on the growth of the person's hair, but if you can grab that cornrow and pick it up from the new growth, that needs to
It's
come
not,
out. That needs
yeah, yeah, because I've done that before. So I'm like, oh, this thing's stretching. Let me go ahead and take my hair down. It's just doing too much. So it's like,
we
oh,
got we got another question. It said, "What's a good detangle for natural hair?" You know what brush I wanted to try? You know that brush that separates
the
and have like a
threads. I
thousand
want to try
thingies?
that too.
Have you tried that one yet?
the wet brush.
No, it's not the wet. I love the wet brush.
Oh, you're talking about, I know what you're talking. Yeah. No, I
The
haven't
one that
tried that. But a
spreads.
good
Yeah.
detangler is it's a 10.
What'd you say?
The Tango product is it's a 10, yeah. It's a 10 does
Hmm.
everything. It's a leave-in, it's a tangler, but the wet brush guys, when I say the
But
wet
that wet
brush,
brush with the detangler, smooth sailing.
So Angela, it's the product is called It's a 10, and it's a good detangler. They're saying for natural hair.
I'll
So
type it.
are you guys when you're talking about the detangler brush? Are you talking about that Denman brush that everybody
Oh,
likes?
no, it's called
No,
the wet brush. It's literally
it's
called the
called a
wet
wet
brush.
brush.
Okay, because I've tried that Denman brush and it was pulling out my hair. It did not detangle my hair like it did the other natural girls. So
Hmm.
it didn't work for me. So that's why I was wondering that it was at the same type of brush. It's not the same.
No,
No,
two totally different brushes.
Okay, it's
and
called
a
a
wet
wet
brush
brush.
have two different types of wet brushes. I like the vented one. You know what I'm talking about, Mignon?
Hmm.
The vented one is even better than the original to me because
Yeah.
you could literally glide through the hair,
Yeah.
and the
Really?
way to where the bristles are, it doesn't snag. It kind of just bends, but it helps get through the hair.
Hmm.
And that's a pet peeve with a lot of my natural clients and friends because um they lose a lot of hair just trying to get through. And it's like,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah,
That was my issue because I sometimes I would get frustrated with my hair. It would take so long to detangle, and I just start ripping through it, and then
Yeah.
and then
and
don't start. You start from the bottoms and work your
yeah,
way up to the top. You always want to
yeah,
start here and work your way here. Once you get that section, just twist it, do some twists.
Hmm.
So when you go to shampoo, you should look like Sealy. Uh,
Well,
or
yeah.
what's her name? Felicia. You should look like one of those versions of Crazy Eyes. If I'm trying to give you a picture,
Oh, okay. I'm like, who is she talking
you're
about?
gonna look crazy. You're gonna have twists going everywhere, but you don't want to get that detangle before you shampoo, because then your conditioning is gonna be easier when you go to detangle your hair with the conditioner in it. So detangle before the shampoo, but I would say wet your hair down and then add a little bit conditioner and detangle it before you shampoo it. Clarify.
Okay,
That'll
so
make
it's
it
to
easier.
detangle before you can before you wash and detangle after you condition or while the conditioner is on there.
It should be already detangled. You should just brush it through to get the conditioner through your hair. It shouldn't. You shouldn't be struggling.
Hmm.
But depends on the person's hair though too, because some people hair just loves each other.
My hair loves to cling to each other. They love to touch and stick together. Like, what is
Touch and agree.
happening?
I
They
love
do.
I love you, boo.
They touch and agree all the time. So yeah, I'm like, that's why. So like you said, could detangle it before. Is there something we should use on dry hair to detangle it, or should we just mist it with a little water first before we
Missed it
detangle it?
first. I wouldn't try to detangle dry hair.
Okay. So just basic water, or should we have something in the water, like a oil or
And
conditioner?
honestly, water sometimes is the best to tank. Like just spraying it just to loosen it up, because our hair get tight, natural hair get tight, and water just kind of loosens it, so it'll be just be easier. Sometimes just finger detangling it,
Hmm.
because I do that a lot with when I'm cutting guys' hair, and they have that big nappy thing they have on their head. I'll just spray it with some water, and I just rub my finger
Start.
just to loosen up the hair a little bit before I can go through
Okay.
with my scissors. It just helps loosen up the hair a little bit.
Hmm. That's
Hydrated.
good.
Hydration.
Hydration. Our hair loves moisture. They always say moisturize our hair. So
And to be honest, I don't moisturizing and hydrating your hair is two different things, right?
okay.
Am I right about that? That's
um,
that's two different things.
they're like six and a half dozen of the other. Like how because it's all well, it's kind of different because when you hydrate, because you can moisturize your hair with it dry, but you can't
Right,
hydrate with it dry. It has to be wet for the hydration. So
right.
Right.
they're kind of a different process.
There are.
Not no same process, just different canvas.
And
Okay.
one thing I do hate, don't put oil on your hair dirty, because it just be balls on your hair. Then you come to us, and now we have dirty oil in our
Everything.
hands. I'm like, you
Yeah.
just put this coconut oil in your hair, 'cause you can just see it sitting on your hair. I just didn't want it to be dry. I'm like, but it's still dry.
And
It's
see,
just sitting on
and
top
that's
of
the
it.
common misconception. Like it's scalp oils and then they're hair oils.
Right.
So that's the issue right there. Like you can put coconut oil on your scalp because when your scalp is hot enough, it's going to go on the hair anyway. But if you just putting that on your hair, that's not what that's for. That's why we have mist and things like that. So,
So
but
when we're putting oil on our hair, it needs to be moist already. Like if we're going to add oil to our hair, it needs to be moist, not on dry hair, like you were saying.
hmm
Because just like what Mignon mentioned earlier, every hair has a cuticle, and your cuticles opens up. Most of the time when your hair is dry, the cuticle is closed. So putting
yep,
oil on your hair is not going to penetrate,
right. And
but
it
that's
sits right there.
it sits right on it.
Okay.
It'll be shiny, but it's going to be stiff.
It's just gonna shine. It's gonna be just laying right on top of that hair, shining
Yep,
up. Right.
And it's not your hair that's glistening, it's that oil that's sitting on top of
it's
it.
sitting right
It's not
there.
the hair, it's the
I remember
oil.
I had a client, she was like, my hair wouldn't be shiny, so I just added everything I had. And when I went to go and chat, she had locks. When I went to go shampoo and you just squeeze her lock, you could just see stuff just squeezing out her locks. So I
I
had
had
to,
an older
Oh,
client years ago, and she would use Vaseline
oh my
on
God.
her scalp. I used to have
wow.
to shampoo her hair with Dawn to cut the grease. It
Yeah.
just and I mean and Dawn because it's gentle enough. They use it on the
Yeah.
ducks.
They use it
There's
on ducks and
nothing
Yeah.
it
cutting it.
gets out oil. It
I've
works.
used Dawn in
But
my hair before.
Vaseline,
So.
out of anything in the house,
She's Like out
Love
of
a deal.
everything in the house, you use
Protecting ourselves
Vaseline.
just in case you got enough fight. Slip.
But hey, well, they were sliding off her hair, so
I just
Right.
wanted to quickly talk about my why I would decide to go natural because y'all I was having like every time I went to go, do I have green on my face? Is my green screen is picking up on my face?
no, you look nice.
Yeah, you look
Thank you.
good.
This is the
No.
first time I've actually seen your face because we're always in a mask.
Oh
So
yeah.
hi.
Hi. That's how you
Right.
but back in 2009, 2008, because I cut the rest of my relax on 2009. 2008, man, every time I relax my hair, the middle of my hair right here will break off to this. It would not grow.
Mhm.
It'll grow a little bit and it'll just break
Um,
off. Yeah, I knew that was my stress point, but it would just keep breaking off, and I just got frustrated.
I can tell you what that's from. Um, for instance, whenever you get a relax, and this is for both of you, have you ever noticed your scalp being more itchy than usual?
Hmm.
I
You
It's
seem
haven't had a
around.
it's been a
relaxer.
while. It's been a while.
It's been 20 years since I've had a relaxer, so I'm not.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Well, some people, if anyone's listening, it's
It was
because it's so
itchy
much
right there too.
sodium, which is salt, that's deposited on the hair.
Oh
That's a
wow.
potential break off. So that's why it's so many different strengths and people that make it. Same thing with any other product. It has to coincide. We'll go right in the store, pick something up, throw it on.
Hmm.
But then, as you learn, it's like, okay, that's not going to work. That it dry salt does what? Dry you out.
Right.
Right.
So it does the same thing. And with the stress on top of that, yeah, definitely.
Right.
So
Wow.
you haven't had any breakage since you've been natural.
No. And that year I sewed up my hair, glued it in, just did that, and then I did the big chop on my own because I can't go low. I can't do the full thing because I have a bald spot in my head, and that's not cute to me. Some people, but me, I can't because it's big enough where it's noticeable. I need some hair to cover that spot. And y'all probably see it at the salon because I know my little thin. I'm told my hair is fine. My little fine hair don't always cover it, but that's okay. um, but it was just irritating to me that I couldn't get my hair to grow. My sister can grow beautiful hair. She has thick hair, and it's just my once we're natural, I noticed my curls is a lot looser and my hair is a lot finer than hers. But I didn't know how my natural hair was gonna be. And a lot of people get scared to go natural because they feel a difference between
They
their
don't know.
relaxed hair and that natural hair, and it always feel like it's real kinky, but you really don't know your natural texture gonna be. I didn't know. All I knew was I was tired of my hair breaking off, and I was tired of getting this chemical in my head. So when a natural, I loved it. My little curls, and I came with my honeydew bush, and I had my little curls right here. And the first day I got to work, and one of my best friends, Lanisha, was supposed to be on there the other day. She was like, "Oh my goodness, Kuta Kempton I walked into the building." And I was in the call center. So
Oh
so everybody
no.
turned around and looked at me. And I was just like, and then I had my other friend, Sam. She was like, "Elena, I'll go buy a relaxer. I'll put it in your head." I'm like, "I don't want to relax. Like, I don't." She's
Wow.
like, "This is because, it was 2009. This is, I think that's when the natural movement just kind of started, but people wasn't feeling natural hair. It was,
But you
Wow.
know what? That's crazy because
Right.
60s and 70s,
I
people
know,
were wearing their afros.
Rocking it. Right.
yeah, but
That's not that far back.
by time 2000s and stuff came out, it wasn't that big being natural. You know what I mean? Some people were natural, but it wasn't a big thing. Like it was wearing a weave or whatever it is, and then the natural movement kind of started kicked off and
I
like
mean,
what?
everything is a fad. It just goes in a complete circle.
Yeah.
And at the
Mhm.
end of the day,
When I say when I finally went natural, I didn't feel a need to go back because I'm telling you guys, I used to because I could do my hair. I used to change my hair every week. I would come in
mhm,
with braids, micro braids one week. The next week I have big hair. The next week I have short hair. Like I would change it up so much to where I didn't know who I was. But once I went natural, I was like, oh, this is Elena, this is her. So I just felt free. And now a
yeah,
lot of people that went natural, they always
Right.
say, I just felt free when, without all that stuff. So it is like, it's one of those feelings that you get like, okay, this is who God wanted me to be.
right. But you found something that worked for you,
Hmm.
and but you're still maintaining and styling your hair.
Yes.
Some
Oh, and
Right.
people
then,
go
and then
natural and just
I went through a lot with my natural hair because I didn't know. I did go through a lot. The best product that I found for me at the time that really helped my curls pop was, believe it or not, herbal essence. They
Mm-hmm.
curl for curly
Yeah.
hair. It had my curls popping, and I
Mm-hmm.
found
Yeah.
it out. I was by a white girlfriend's house, and and my hair was just dry. It was all over the place, no curls. It was just like this. I used her herbal essence, and my curls was like. I'm like, I'm going to buy this
He was
today.
like, hey.
and
Right.
then one day I decided to go blonde,
Now that's where the fun comes.
and
I
and
know,
and
right?
I used the box color. This was before I went to hair school.
All right, well, let it slide this time.
No, oh, that was the only time I ever did that. And I cut off one of my curls in the back, and I tested it right, and it turned out this pretty blonde. I left it, but then I put that all over my head, and I seen that orange, and I panicked, and I rinsed it
Oh,
off too early, and I was Ronald McDonald. So I called the company, and I told them, I was like, my hair's orange. What can I do? Like, how long do I have to take to like try to do it again? And it was like 48 hours. So of course I overprocessed my hair. Yeah. It was blonde, but it was, you could see, like,
Wow.
as you saw my hair growing, this stayed the same.
wow.
Wow.
So uh that was that was around the time I did go to hair school, and I didn't touch my hair. I was just trying to keep it back healthy. And then in 2014 was when I did my locks. And I'm never looking back. I don't. I'm thinking I'm keeping my locks because my hair never grew past a certain point.
Mm-hmm.
And with my locks, I'm able to grow it, and I cut it. I cut my locks all the time, but I'm able to grow it and look fuller because I don't have that much hair. I was joking with Miranda yesterday. I'm like, my hair, if I flat iron my hair, all you can see is the green screen. You'll probably just see this. My hair is so fine. But I had to learn that, and I love my locks. So that's my hair journey to
Yeah.
how I got to where I am. And then with my locks, like I had to learn. I went to one hairstylist. I wanted gray, and she put the bleach on my hair. I believe it was 40. She put me under the dryer, and my locks were just falling off by the inch. So
Oh
that's why
no.
people that
Wow.
knows me, and you, I guess you've seen me how I do deal with people at the salon. I know how it feels to like get your hair ruined and not have
Wow.
healthy hair. So I'm deep on having natural hair. I mean healthy hair, and teaching my clients how to maintain it. And that's another thing for
Right.
your question, Miranda. If you go to a stylist and she doesn't give you directions to go home and maintain your hair, don't go back to that stylist.
Mm,
Because
that's
she
good.
don't care about your hair. To
Right.
me,
Also, to add to piggyback off what you said about stylists, when if for instance you're not going, let's use you like your locks, you sit down, you say what you want. When a stylist tries to sway you in
Yeah.
a completely different direction,
Right.
then you know it's not safe. Like now, I get it sometimes. Remember when people used to bring pictures? Oh, I want this style. That may not work for you. You know what I mean? That's
right,
different. But if
Mhm.
like if you sit in someone's chair and all they want to talk about is a relaxer, I don't need to be in a chair.
right,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or vice versa. If someone's relaxed, you think about going in, that's not what you
No.
asked for,
right,
Right.
per se. And
Right.
I think that's one of the things that's a big thing in the industry as well. A lot of people that were natural because they were going to stylists that weren't up on hair care, didn't know how to handle natural hair, so they had
Mhm.
to rely on their own.
yeah,
Right. In
And
their
I think
own
that was the
knowledge.
big thing with that as well as I've talked to people over time. Um, and I just if it works, it works. Keep it up.
Yeah.
yeah.
And we
That's why I
have
said
to.
when people come to me to get their hair trimmed, they ask, and I can see that the hair is just healthy and it's thriving. It's like, what
Yeah.
can I use? I'm like, whatever you're doing, keep doing it because
Keep
your hair is
doing
Right.
it.
beautiful. Just keep using the products you're doing, keep doing it because
Right.
you're doing a good job.
And
And
I
then
Right.
think a lot is
I
psychological
fuss at
too.
people who not like, what are you doing?
And with our hair, I think it's psychological too. We'll walk past somebody and say, "Oh, I want my hair like hers." We have
Yeah.
no idea what that person did to get their hair like that. And
Exactly.
when they bring
Or
it to
that
us,
your hair even curls like that.
exactly like you said, and Miranda said, you have to be in touch with your hair
Yeah.
to what works for you.
For your hair. Right.
For me, with this natural thing, and the shrinkage is real as far as
It
natural is
is. It
concerned.
is.
Um,
She be coming in with that little honeydew,
I'm not
a little
opposed
bush.
to either side
Yeah.
because I play in my hair. That's what I do. Now
Yeah.
I'm
See,
getting
the
older. I
difference
might need to
is
stop playing so much.
you a
But
stylist and you know how to keep your hair healthy whether you put a relaxer or not.
Right.
Right. But
Right.
you know what? I have become like that because I've done things to myself that I know what pulls it out. You know
You
what I
know
mean?
better.
Like I know it's not going to
I know.
work.
I know.
I always do it, but I just kind of let it go. I like how my hair feels. It's
Yeah.
different for me. I'm seeing a little more grays than I'm used to because I don't have any color in it, but we'll talk about that later. Um, but
I'm
I'm
going through
I'm at
that
a
too,
I just
Mia.
want people to, if you're gonna go natural, I guess the only thing that bothered me, people would say, um, because it's our fault. In some cases, it is because
Hmm.
just because you have a license, just like to drive, doesn't mean you know how.
Right.
But um, they'll say, "Well, I just went natural because I used to get relaxers and it took my hair out," but they neglected to tell you that they were doing their own relaxers. You know what I mean, or things
Yeah.
of that nature. So,
Right.
because I like to dive in, like, "Oh, okay, well, what happened? Well, I picked this box up. There you
Hmm.
Yep.
go.
That was it.
Relaxers are chemicals.
Yeah.
Just like you're not going to pop your hood and fix your car. It's the same thing. Well, I might.
I was about to say, speak for yourself,
I
Mia.
might. But like if your doctor says you need to do this or you risk some type of health issue, are you going to perform it yourself or are you going to listen to your physician?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
That's
hair people
true.
have a little bit of leeway when it's on their head. I've had a client, her whole middle was gone because where she was going, she got a ponytail and the bobby pins were so tight,
Mm.
completely pulled her middle out and it never grew back.
Oh
That's
my
traumatic.
goodness. It
Yeah.
is.
So for her, why would she want to sit in another professional's chair?
Right.
Right.
You know what I mean? But she did. She finally came in. It was gone beyond belief. But I think she ended up going to like a, is it like a Bosley or a hair type
Hmm.
plug place like that,
A trichologist.
and she's been going on. But she might have been about 30 years old.
Wow.
Wow.
And
That's
it's
powerful.
happening. It's happening a lot with the younger people.
It's
Being
these
bald.
edges. I need them to get their edges back.
Right.
And the sad part is, it's starting to happen younger because people are still putting weaves and stuff in these children's hair and pulling out their edges before they even know what the edges are.
Right.
And I could be biased, but I just feel like while our children are children, teach them how to take care of their hair because we didn't
Right.
have that opportunity. We
Right.
didn't. Our parents didn't know, but there's a lot of information out there now, so you can teach your daughter how to
Right.
maintain her hair and love her hair, and let her get the decision if she wants to get a weave or braids later in life or locks.
Right, because
Right.
I don't, at 8 years old, you should not have a weave.
No.
What happened to the beads and the ponytails and all those things? And
Right.
I get it because, everyone's working. Some parents are working two jobs to, maintain and they don't have time to do their children's hair in the morning. So pick a day, let that little girl get us some nice little cornrows and beads and
Right.
go. I get it.
Yeah.
I'm one of those parents. My little daughter, she's 4. She's supposed to have that.
Yeah.
Ponytails, things like it's a sacrifice. But then when
It
they get
is.
older, they have nothing to look forward to. Like when I was young, a weave was something to me rich people got. You know what I mean? Because it's so costly and you got that for special occasions. It wasn't an everyday thing when
Yeah.
I was growing
Right.
up, but this was a long time ago.
Right.
Now you can buy hair, go over your homegirl house and sew it in. I get it. That's good. You 16. What do girls do when they over each other's house? They do each other's hair. I
Yeah.
get it, but just because you can do it does not mean it's sustaining any maintenance or health.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's where we come in. And if, as a professional, if we can't keep the integrity, then all is lost at that point.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't sway any hairstyles. I think people should come to whatever they like. They got to wear it. You do what you do, but find out what works for you. Like
Right.
everybody can't have relaxers. Everybody can't do. That's why we live in a free country. Free country, but that's a whole nother
Yes. That's a whole other
conversation.
conversation.
um, but hair, I mean, hair for me is fun, and
Yeah.
I think that's why, like you when we spoke earlier about being COVID and things going on, we were bored. Let's play in our hair. It's fun. But if you really
It is.
don't know what you're doing, and what you're doing, and that's fine. But just know that you did it to yourself.
Right.
But that's why we have shows like this
We
so
here.
people
We
know
here to
where to
fix
find
it,
out what
help you get
products
it
need to
back
be done.
healthy. We're here.
And huh?
I said, and we're here. We're here with you to get it back healthy.
Right.
We'll hear and rub your back and like it's okay. We got you. We gonna get this growing.
Right. And what clients need to understand as well, natural or relaxed. Maintenance is key. You got to keep up with your trims.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do know that with hot oil treatments are still a thing. It's just the
Mhm.
oil that they're using,
Yeah.
especially for
Yeah.
lock maintenance, because some do color their hair a lot. They need that extra you
Right.
know,
Moisture.
yeah, yeah, moisture. I mean, if I could do everybody's hair in the world, I would.
Right.
But
And I am that stylist. If I see that you can't maintain your everyday hair, I will tell you. If you want color, I'm like, I don't know if that's good for you because you can't even take care of your hair without this color in
Mm.
right, so why would you want to go a step further?
Right.
it.
They're going to be
So,
mad in the beginning, but
yeah,
they'll thank
Yeah.
you in the end because what's going. And that actually happened to me before, and somebody went and got color, and because
me
I
too.
no, that's not going to work right now, especially if somebody that wants to go from black to blonde in
Right.
one sitting, and you got hair down here. It's
Right.
not going to work, and not natural black, like a box color black.
That
And
jet
they
black.
went and got color. It was orange. Next thing I know, 2 weeks later, they had a regular. So,
Wow.
because I'd rather tell you no than you tell I do it and you telling somebody I made your hair come out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people that insist, because some people insist, oh, my hair can take it. I make them sign. I'm like, I told you this is not a good thing.
Agreed.
Go ahead and sign this because you can't come back and say Elena did anything because Elena told
Right.
you this ain't it. But you
Not
Wow.
what you
insisted.
want.
I never. Most people listen to me, and they didn't let me do it, but then they went off and let somebody else do it. And what I told them this will happen to their hair happened to their hair.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Wow.
Because I had one client, her hair it just wasn't strong. Any tension to it, it will break off. And she had natural hair, but her hair was not
Right.
strong. Her
Mm-hmm.
hair was not strong. She was young and she had some thinning, but her hair wasn't really growing and it wasn't strong. I'm like, you just need to let it be. Wear it in a bush, just
Right.
let it be. Because any tension, your hair, and we got it growing. It started growing in 6 months. We got it growing. We can press it. It got like to her shoulders. What did she do? Go get braids. What happened? Her hair fell out.
Wow.
And now I have my own pet peeves about braids, but we'll talk about that another time. I like them. It's just way too much tension sometimes. You know what I mean?
As you have braids in your hair.
But right, I do. But my tension was perfect. I could
Yeah.
actually lay down the same night.
Marina is good. She went
Right.
to a stylist that
And I'm very tender headed. So,
she did a good job.
oh, amazing,
Yeah.
amazing job. I mean, they're fine now. I didn't have to take a Advil
Advil.
after. Like I said, I
Yeah.
could lay on them and go to sleep. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And that's
good.
another thing too. Like you have to find somebody who's especially your braiders and people that's doing weaves. Don't just go to anybody. Go to somebody who's like truly professional. Like
Right.
if they don't care if that your hair is breaking off and stuff like that and don't try to treat it. And you people don't need a license to do braids and they don't need a license to do weaves.
Right.
It's
And the
like
things are, those are protective styles. So if I'm taking it out and when I comb my hair that I grew is coming with it, what did
Right.
I do it for?
right.
Yeah.
And before you get those things too, make sure your hair is healthy. Because what's the point of protecting dead hair?
Exactly.
Right.
What are we? Good question. What are we protecting?
Right. What is the point?
Yeah, I said it all because they had a lady and had two daughters. It was an African lady and she had her two daughters and both of their hair they only had like this in the middle and she wanted me to keep pressing it to make it look like it's a style. I'm like, at this point, you have to start over. Nobody wants to hear that, but if
Yeah.
80% of your hair is gone, why are you keeping 20% of it? She's like, oh, we'll just braid it up.
And that might have been the problem why they got like that.
No, they had a
Right.
relaxer that went wrong,
Okay.
and
Wow.
a texturizer,
Oh,
and their hair was just gone. And I'm like, I didn't even want to do it, but she had me press out. I had to use the little small ones and press out their hair to make it look like they had hair, but it was just the front and the back was just smooth. I'm like, why am I
Wow.
doing this? And I kept every time they, I'm like, why? I'm like, just cut their hair and let them start over. And then finally, she stopped coming
That's
to me because I kept
crazy.
suggesting it because she probably thought I was the stylist. She just was cut happy. No, it
Yeah.
needs to be done
Right.
because it wasn't going to do nothing but break off anyway. Because the rest of it was broken and split ends and damaged, and the new growth was just too short. Like it was bad.
And sometimes in this industry, no is the right answer.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, no, that's, but
That's not going to work.
Here
yeah.
goes a statement. Say hi, babes. Aloe vera is a great way to keep your hair healthy.
Hmm. I've used it. It gives it a nice sheen.
Hmm.
Yep.
I haven't tried it as much. I hear it, and to me, it was like coconut oil. Like so many people were saying it. I'm like, but I did add aloe vera. I did rice water, and I added aloe vera to make a serum for my daughter's hair, and that.
Yeah, I used it on my daughter. Like, I just actually cut the aloe vera and just slid it right on the hair. Yep.
And do they use it? I watched some videos on it, but it's used as just a treatment, right? You rinse
Yeah.
it off after. Okay.
It's really supposed to go under that dryer that gives that steam.
Oh yeah, I wanted to
Hmm.
get one of those.
We should have one of those, but you know, another conversation.
All these sidebar conversations, Mignon. All these sidebar conversations.
But thank you for being on here, Mignon. We
Oh,
have been
absolutely.
talking for
Thanks for the
all
invite.
hours. No problem. You had my nerves going, but you popped on at the last minute. I'm like, where's she at? She's not answering the phone.
I was like, oh, boom. I was right there. And the crazy thing is, it was on my mind all day up until about 6:55. Craziness.
Get up until
That's how it
But
happened.
6:55.
That's how
but
it
I'm
happened.
here. You guys need me again, let me
Thank
know. Not a
you.
problem. We have
Yes.
several topics.
We do have
Yes,
several topics. I'm gonna
yes,
write it down. And that means, guys,
yes.
have y'all questions ready. We're gonna have Mignon back. I also have another good friend that's been in the business for years. We'll probably, we'll have a hairstylist forum and try to
Yeah.
answer all y'all questions. Because we're
Hmm.
hairstylists, but we all do things a little different. But that don't mean it's a wrong way. It's just we're different people. We're different
Right,
artists.
right.
But we all come to the same thing, and that's making sure your hair is healthy, whether
Yep.
you have it natural or whether you have relaxed, just healthy hair
Healthy hair.
with color in
Yeah,
it. Because technically, they can say that I'm not natural because my hair is colored, but I'm natural. I'm
Hey.
yeah.
naturally but guys, thank you guys for joining
Thank
us.
you
Those who's
all.
watching us, remember to follow us, share our videos. Let everybody know we're following. Our goal is to get to 1,000 followers, so we can start getting those endorsements. 'Cause being honest, so
Yes,
we can get more of the people that y'all want to see. Because not everybody's gonna be so gracious and say, yeah, they might need to pay them something.
right.
So endorsements be great to get those people that y'all want to see, and but God has blessed us with a bunch of women that's you know experts. They name might not be up there, but they're experts in their own rights, and that's what
Yeah.
God has blessed us with on our platform. Also get your t-shirts at teespring.com/, with the store /bougie girl.
Hmm.
And I have one on. I actually have on this is
The tank.
the tank, and I have my I'm intentional bougie. It's thin
And
because it's an exercise one, and I have my sports bra underneath it, so it's very light, airy. It feels good. She has on our original design, but we also now have mask. We also have mugs. We have I think it's 6 or 7 designs. Go on there, check it out, support us.
support. Join our Facebook group.
Yes, I'm bougie, and that's a group for everybody. Like if you have something going on, if you have a new product, if you have a new book, if you have a seminar, if you have something, post it on there so we can support you and support
Hmm.
each other. That's what we're doing here.
Yeah.
Just trying to lift up Black women and have a
Yes,
positive
ma'am.
platform where we're not talking about each other, you know, and stuff like that.
We're not tearing each other down. We're supporting and loving on one another. We're encouraging one another and having conversations like this where we're sharing information that's going to be a blessing and to help you to just be a better person, healthy overall. Like you said, when you eat, what you're eating comes out. So, we're talking about health and we want to be healthy inside and out. So, Mignon, we are so grateful and thankful that you joined us tonight. And we're going to
Thank
have you
you.
on again so we can, those sidebar comments you were making, we want to hear more about.
Okay, sure, sure.
Yeah, so we want to hear more about because like I said, a lot of times we need this information just to be a better person and just to pass it on to other people. So watch the replay, everyone. Share it on your pages. Join our Facebook group. Follow us. Like our page because again, like Elena said, we want to get to 1,000. Subscribe to our YouTube page as well. We're on Instagram. Like our page on Instagram. So thank you all so much. We appreciate you guys. Have a
All
great
right. Thanks for
evening. We
having me,
love
ladies.
you.
You're welcome. And join us Friday for her
Join us
story. We have
Friday.
another her story on this Friday at 7 o'clock Central and 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So
Yes.
we'll see you guys then. Bye.
Bye.
All right. Bye bye.